Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast NFL edition. Today, goodness gracious, we are going to be talking some week 13 in the NFL. The regular season is dwindling down. We are getting closer and closer to playoffs. We have the NFL expert with us, Mr. Justin Ackendale. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good on this content Tuesday. Just got done recording the college football pod, and it's a little spicy for you guys this week.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of opinions. So make sure you definitely listen to that. But right now, we're going to be talking some NFL. Like I said earlier in the open, Justin, we are rapidly getting closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, there's about 5 games left for everyone else. Still a couple teams on bye this week, which is late for a bye week. But yeah, we get into the home stretch. We're in the final month of the season right now. Final quarter.
Yeah, and there's still everything's up for grabs for a lot of teams. Playoff positioning, number one seed,
Oh yeah,
MVP.
almost did might do contender pretender at the end to see.
Fair enough.
There are some teams down here.
Well, we will definitely do that. Let's start with the biggest game of the week. The 49ers at the Eagles.
Yeah, I was hoping that we were going to get, a game like in week 12 with Buffalo and the Eagles, and nah, that did not happen. The 49ers came out and won this game 42-19. The Eagles were leading this game 6-0 after the first quarter, and then they proceeded to get outscored 42-13 the next 3 quarters. The 49ers averaged 8 yards of play in this game. Philly couldn't run the ball. They got outgained 146-46. Debo had 3 touchdowns in the game, 2 passing catches and 1 rushing. Eagles didn't have any answers for the 49ers. I expected the 49ers to win the game, but not dominate like this. Everyone was chippy in the game. There were fights happening. Drake Greenlaw got ejected for trying to for putting his hands in the face of the Eagles security guard who's on the sideline. So there's a lot going on in this game. But yeah, I didn't expect the Eagles to get beat like this, even with the 49ers having 10 days rest on this game. They played Thanksgiving Thursday. The Eagles played last week on the overtime, but Eagles been playing with their food all season like this, just winning close games, just winning games, just finding ways to win the game, and finally bit them in the ass in this game. And the Eagles have the Cowboys this week, which we will preview later, and 49ers host the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think with the Eagles, we talked about it thanks the Super Pod when we were previewing OSU Michigan doing the Thanksgiving NFL games that we had Eagles fan, L7C guy Cedric on there. We talked about it, like the Eagles, that portion of the schedule which he talked about, it was daunting because after they beat Dallas, the 28-23, they had the bye, and you had Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas, Seattle all in a row. And that's why he talked about it was important for them to get that Buffalo win because he saw a loss on the horizon. And I don't care how good a team you are going to take an L somewhere down that line. Beat Kansas, they beat Buffalo, but they lost to San Francisco. And San Francisco, they've been waiting for this game since last year because Debo Samuels, they've all been open and saying if we had a quarterback, we would have beat the Eagles. There's no ifs. We would have beat the Eagles. So those two teams don't like each other, which is fine. They had 49ers wanted to prove and put everyone on notice when everyone's healthy and everyone's going that no one could stop them, which we've said that for years. They just never close. So I'm also surprised it was 40-19, but I wouldn't discount the Eagles' chances in the playoffs.
Oh no, I'm
not.
Playoffs
like this are not common in the NFL.
I'm not there yet, but I'm definitely scared of San Francisco. They absolutely dominate 2 of the top 3 teams in the NFC. They absolutely dominated them. And credits for the Eagles. I mean, they went 3-1 in this stretch of Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers. They went 3-1. They got us again on Sunday, so we'll see there. But if you ask them what their record would be after a stretch of games like that, and you said 3-1, these Eagles fans will take it. It was just crazy to see 49ers go into Philly. That shit typically don't happen at home for the Eagles like that, and just dominated them. But yeah, I'm not worried about the Eagles.
And the Eagles, all those games you said, every single one of them have been on national TV in some way. Either the night game, the 425 game, Monday night football. I think the Cowboy game is on Sunday night
Yes,
football.
Sunday Night Football. So the world has been watching the Eagles for the past month at this point now.
And then Seattle's Monday night football.
That's just a, what you call it? The Eagles are a big deal.
Yep.
Eagles are a big deal. Yeah, they get a lot of prime time games.
I think the thing wasn't just before we go to the next thing, the 49ers, obviously health is with every team, but this team randomly every year just gets hurt right before the playoffs. And obviously we can't, but if they got to stay healthy somehow. I don't know if they start thinking about shutting people down earlier than other people would.
I think in their situation, I mean they're going to run away with the division. I don't think home field advantage really matters that much to them. I mean the bye would probably help, but I don't think the 49ers should like break themselves to try to get the number 1 seed. They just need to make sure that everyone is healthy on that team, and they're damn near guaranteed to go to the NFC Championship game for what I've seen.
All right. Next game up, we have the last year's Super Bowl champ, Kansas City Chiefs, Sunday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers.
Man, I want to give you credit. You were the one before. I don't know if it was Super Football or the podcast before. You were the one, the first one I heard to say no one needed to be scared of the Chiefs.
I said at the
that Super Football.
I said it twice. I said it the Super one because I'm humble. I was patting myself on the back because I picked the Eagles to beat the Chiefs, but it was before that. Yeah, that one. It was before that game when I was that text. We said on the pod in that first text, I was like, I don't understand how the Chiefs are favored against the Eagles because no one. It's not the same. So yes,
yeah, and credit to you because it definitely ain't the same. The Packers won this game 27-19, and Jordan Love thoroughly outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Like Jordan, best game I've seen Jordan Love play.
Better than Thanksgiving, bro. I don't know. Thanksgiving was good.
Man, he was lights out in this game. He was really fucking good. Like he was like that in every sense of the word against the Chiefs. I mean, Packers on their first drive, they go right down the field, get a touchdown, taking 7 minutes off the clock. A lot of that is Matt LaFleur, 15-play game script first drive. Like his drives look like that on the first drive. And then the Chiefs answer with a field goal. And then the second Packers drive of the game, they go right back down the field, and it's 14-3. On the second touchdown, Jordan Love throws a touchdown to Christian Watson. Chiefs answer that one with another field goal, going to halftime, losing 14-6. The Chiefs score a touchdown on the first drive out of halftime to narrow the deficit to 14-12. And then the Packers answer with another Love the Watson touchdown, going up 21-12. And then Mahomes, he comes down the field, he gets another touchdown. It's 21-19. And then we're in the fourth quarter now. Both teams trade punts before the Packers get a field goal to go up 24-19 with about 5:20 left. And then Patrick Mahomes throws a pick to Keshawn Nixon, which killed a lot of momentum for them. That was not good on Mahomes' part. And I think that was the play of the game. I think that's what really lost them the game. They were in it. They were coming back, and then that pick killed it. Packers get another field goal to go up 27-19, and then with a minute 14 left in the game, the Chiefs start the drive. Second play of the drive, Mahomes is scrambling. He gets knocked out. Not knocked out, but he gets hit on the sideline, and the refs call a late hit, which was it was tough. It was bullshit. It was not a good call. No. It was not a good call. And then with 19 seconds left, Mahomes looks deep for Marcus Valdes-Scantling, and the Packers defender literally jumps on this nigga's back while the ball's in the air. It is clear as day, pass interference, not called. I don't know why that was not called. I don't know what the ref was doing there. Like that was clear as day, pass interference, game-changing play. Should have been called. Would have the Chiefs the 2-yard line down by 8 in the game. Like that's a call that you can't miss. And then the Chiefs try a couple Hail Marys at the end of the game, and then the game's over. Like I was saying before we started talking about the game, Jordan Love was excellent in the game. He was 25 for 36, 267 yards, 3 touchdowns. He looked confident all night, saw the field, moved well, threw the deep ball well. And what really messed up the Chiefs was, settling for field goals and that late pick that pretty much sealed the game at that point, because when Patrick Mahomes threw that pick with 5 minutes left, they're only down by 5 in the driver's seat. They could have killed the clock and got the last touchdown in the game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw that pick and gave the Packers another chance to score, and they did, and they couldn't do anything with. And Mahomes this season has thrown he's been throwing interceptions about 2.3% of his dropbacks, and if he keeps that up, he's going to have the most interceptions of his career if he keeps doing that. And then just the lack of receiving talent for the Chiefs is it's really starting to show at this point. It is ugly. It's getting ugly. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the preview later down the line because they play the Bills this week. But yeah, and yeah, Chiefs host the Bills next week, and then the Packers go face the Giants on Monday Night Football this week.
Yeah, Packers are on a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Chargers, then they beat Detroit on Thanksgiving, where 40 million Americans got to see Jordan Love at that point play his best game. And they're like, oh, they're actually good. You wouldn't have thought they would have beat the Lions. And then they beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, where everyone watches Sunday Night Football. And now, because of the wins they have early right now, the playoffs started today. The Packers are in the playoffs.
Yep, 7th seed.
So they have a lot to play for. If Jordan Love in his first year, and Aaron Jones hasn't been playing either, if they can get in the playoffs, I mean, it's a great start. I mean, that was Patrick Mahomes' first time at Lambeau, and it just didn't work out because, again, they're just not the same. It's sad because this is the best defense Patrick Mahomes has ever had.
No question. No question. And yeah, I mean, that offense, though, those receivers they're bad. Other than Rice and Kelsey, they don't have no one to fucking throw the ball to. They have no one.
And Pacheco is having himself a game.
Yeah, I mean, they can run it. They just don't have a threat on the outside that scares you.
So
who can reliably catch the damn ball.
So with the Chiefs, do they need to start thinking? Andy Reid obviously now is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Yeah. Do they need to start copying like the 2015 to 20 Patriots playbook style? Because I'm starting to see the similarities. They had more reliable, they had obviously Edelman and all that, but they have a great tight end, good running backs. You might have to start relying on those running backs more, man, in the pass game. And those short James White type things, and then you just get enough and then give your defense a chance and then you win. They can't run that explosive playbook. They don't have anyone explosive.
I don't know if they can score touchdowns consistently like that to be able to run an offense like that. They just need a deep threat. You need someone who can open it up. I don't think Patrick Mahomes can and they did it last year. They did it last year.
But they had better normal receivers last
year. Yeah, I mean these receivers right now are below replacement levels. You give them replacement level receivers, and I think they're scoring a lot more than what they're doing now. These receivers are just not good.
Yeah. And again, I said a couple weeks ago, they had a shot. They could have got DeAndre. They could have gotten some of these older receivers in the offseason who have more experience. I mean, I'm looking at someone who's not playing right now who could help them in the intermediate pass game, like a Jarvis Landry. Why is he not playing?
There must be a reason why he must not want to or something.
He was one of the most sure-handed receivers in the league.
I mean, they could have kept Juju Smith-Schuster at this point.
They could have.
They could they need someone on that tier. He ain't the best receiver, but he doesn't suck. These receivers right now suck.
Oh, yeah.
Not good. Sky Moore, not good. Justin Watson, not good. Rasheed Rice, potential. That's it.
Well, they thought they had it in Mr. Drop Pass, man.
Hey, and they took a flyer on Kadarius Toney. They didn't draft him. They gave up nothing from the Giants. So they're just seeing what's good with him. And I don't know why he can't do this consistently, because in the Super Bowl he was great. So I don't know what's going on with that.
We'll see. But then they have no rest because They are playing the one-sided rivalry because this game always means more to the Bills. The Bills.
Yes, they play the Bills this week. The Bills were on a bye last week after losing to the Eagles in overtime in week 12. The Chiefs are 3-2 in the last 5 matchups. Buffalo won this matchup last year, 24-20. As we mentioned on this pod before, that game last year was the Bills' Super Bowl. They took that game a lot more serious than the Chiefs did. These quarterbacks have had similar numbers. Patrick Mahomes, 3,127 yards and 22 touchdowns, 10 picks, and Josh Allen, 3,214 yards, 24 touchdowns, 13 picks. These quarterbacks have similar numbers. Josh Allen was actually great against the Eagles. He did enough personally for them to win. Both these defenses are in the top 5 in points allowed. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle throwing the ball. The Bills' top 3 corners are ranked in the top 20 in PFF grades, and the Bills' receivers, other than Rashid Rice and Travis Kelce, Sky Moore is ranked 101 out of 120 in PFF grade, and Justin Watson is 72 out of 120 in PFF grade. So the receiver talent is not good. Both these defenses are middle in the pack rushing, so I expect both teams to try to run the ball, especially Kansas City, because their run game is good. The Bills' run game is wishy-washy. James Cook has been doing better, but their run game starts with Josh Allen, and hopefully James Cook can hold on to the fucking football because he fumbles a decent amount, just like his brother. I expect Buffalo to pull out all the stops to win this game. They definitely need this game a lot more than the Chiefs do. I don't think Denver's going to catch Kansas City because I don't think Denver's going to beat them again, and they're going to win more. So Chiefs are in the driver's seat to win the division. The Bills have to get a wild card spot. I don't think they're going to catch the Dolphins because the Dolphins are unbelievable right now and playing really good football right now. And yeah, between these two flawed teams, as long as Josh Allen doesn't have one of his big turnover games, I think the Bills come in and get the dub against the Chiefs.
I agree. I am actually going to take the Bills in this because the Bills, like a lot of these other teams, their playoffs start this Sunday because anytime they lose a game, their season's closer and closer to being over. The Chiefs, I mean, there's only 4 games left. And after this game, week 14 against the Chiefs, they have 4 more games. Dallas, Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins. Then that's it. They have no room to lose any game whatsoever in terms of playoff positioning. Because right now, if the playoffs started, they'd be the 10th seed, which means they would not be in. They're behind Denver. They're behind the Texans. They're behind the Browns. They're behind the Colts. And they're behind the Steelers. These teams are going to win games around. I mean, and the Texans right now are very dangerous, so they can't lose any games this year if they want to have a shot anymore to get in the playoffs, and they know that. So I'm going to take the Bills. And like you said, if Joshua has a 3-pick type Joshua game, then their season's over.
Yeah, simple as that.
Yeah.
He cannot turn the ball over in this one.
And that's the 425 game on CBS?
Yes, that's the 425 game.
Nope. So that's Nance and Romo. But the Eagles and Cowboys have the Sunday night game. Whew. And they just had a great game. Almost felt like a month ago.
It was a month ago.
It was
November 5th.
Wow. Year is zooming. But Justin, man, from the past couple of weeks, I know some of the competition, whatever, you still have to play. The Cowboys, something's happened.
Oh my God. Since they have lost to the Eagles in week 9, they have, let me tell you the scores of what the Cowboys have been doing to teams. Against the Giants against the Giants the week after the Eagles game. 49-17. The 1-win Carolina Panthers, 33-10. On Thanksgiving, 45-10 beat Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And then last Thursday, 41-35 against the Seahawks. That one was a little shaky, but that was record-wise the best team the Cowboys beat. Mm-hmm. Last week, the Seahawks. And like we said in week 9, the Eagles won this matchup 28-23. The Cowboys are actually 4-2 in the last 6 matchups against the Eagles. Big game for both teams. Cowboys still have a shot of winning the division if they win this game, and the Eagles need to win this game so they can be the number 1 seed. Dak is playing the best football he has in a couple years right now. He's the number 1 great quarterback in PFF. CeeDee Lamb's having his best year as a pro. The Cowboys defense gave up a lot of points against Seattle last week, but they had 2 key 4th down stops in that game to win that game. The Eagles the past 2 weeks have been leaky on defense, giving up 42 last week to the 49ers and 34 points to the Bills in week 12. Here's my key to the game, what the Cowboys are going to probably look to exploit. The Eagles are 29th in pass defense. They give up 260 yards a game passing. So I think that's where the Cowboys are on the attack. Big that game, big CD game. You can run on the Cowboys like I've been saying all year, so I expect that's what the Eagles are going to do. They're going to try to be the more physical team, run the ball, long drives, control the ball, clock. The Cowboys need to prove that they can beat a winning team, the class of the NFC. The last time we had a game like this that wasn't the Eagles, we got destroyed by the 49ers. So we got to prove, but the Cowboys are they're 6-0 at home, and no one typically gets swept in this series. So I'm going with the Cowboys. I went with the Cowboys last time, but I'm a lot more confident now.
And they had a chance to win that game a month ago too.
They did. Like that's why I said other than the Eagles, the last really good team we played, the 49ers, and got destroyed. That's why I didn't mention the last time we played a good team, because we could have won that game. Like a couple
These
bounces
games,
away.
these NFC East games are always tough to pick, especially when both teams are good. Sunday Night Football is going to have a whole. I do think if the Cowboys win this game, they'd be 10-3.
We'll be tied with the Eagles. We have the same record as the Eagles, 10-3.
Yes. So wouldn't you guys then jump to the number 1 seed in the East? I mean, number 1 seed in the NFC. Like who has the tiebreaker? Because
we will jump to. I don't know what the tiebreaker would be, because I feel like our conference, the Eagles will still be ahead of us because their conference record is better. Yeah, okay. Their conference record's better.
So you both would be 10-3.
Yeah, it'll be the Eagles will still have the 2 seed. They have the 2 seed, but the 49ers will jump up to 1 if they beat the Seahawks.
Jeez. Okay, well, that's going to be very, very interesting. All right.
Because the Cowboys' 3 losses were
49ers, which the Eagles lost to them too.
Yeah, were 49ers, Eagles, Cardinals. That's 3 conference losses, and
it was that damn Cardinals game.
that Cardinals ain't gonna bite us in the ass. And then the Eagles' losses are the Jets, non-AFC
they
team.
Lost to the Jets.
I know, bro. This league. And then the 49ers. And shit, I believe the 49ers, most of their losses were in the AFC too. So yeah, the Eagles need to lose some more for us to really win the division, but it'll put us in the driver's seat for sure.
NFC is very interesting in the 4 best record-wise teams, because currently right now Eagles 10-2, and then 49ers, Lions, and Cowboys all 9-3. Then everyone else is 6-6.
Yeah, there's a clear cutoff between the top of the NFC and then the bottom.
So it'll be interesting.
The shitty part is the second place, whoever gets second place in the NFC East is going to be locked into that 5th seed. So you're going to play the NFC South, which I guess is fine because they're fucking horrible, but you're not going to get a bye or a home game, which is shitty.
Yeah, that is true. It would be interesting if the playoffs did start today, because the 49ers would play the Packers, and we've known that has been a matchup for the past 5 years with the Aaron Rodgers and all that. But that would be, and then the Lions would play the Vikings, so that'd be why is the NFC North is in here?
Yeah, I don't know how the Vikings are still winning games, if we're being honest.
Well, they might have some help coming back this week if they have their star player coming.
Yeah, yeah. If Justin Jefferson comes back, I don't know how long Dobbs is going to be continue to be able to do this though.
I think the Rams sneak in, man. They're starting. I've been watching. They're starting to play a lot better.
Oh yeah, they were in a dogfight with Cleveland to the fourth quarter, and then they just opened the can up on them.
Seahawks. I mean, they're not the same. They are not the same team when they're not playing ahead with Kenneth Walker scoring at the 2 yard line. They're not the same. I don't know how the fuck the Buccaneers are 5-7, but and then you go
The
and
whole
then
NFC South is just dog shit.
it's yeah.
They're terrible.
The best team is 6-6. All right, Justin. So you had winners and losers, but did you want to do contenders and
We'll do
pretenders as
contenders,
well?
pretenders first.
Okay. Okay.
Pretenders first.
All right. So how do you want to do it?
Um, let's see. All right, let's start. I didn't want to do like contenders, pretenders, who can win the Super Bowl. I want to do like playoffs. So
Okay.
I'll just name a team, and yeah, we'll do it that way. We'll go. I'll name a team, and you give me your thoughts. What do you think?
Okay.
So God, we'll start with the current 9 seed. We ain't gonna do the 10th and 11th seed because I really don't care about Tampa Bay, and I'm fucking sick of the Saints. So, and the only way they're going into the playoffs, anyways, if they win the division. I think Atlanta has that show on lock. So the NFC South is excluded from this conversation. That is their own bullshit, and I don't have the time, quite frankly, to even try to figure out what the fuck going on in that division. So fuck that shit. So we'll start with the Seattle Seahawks. Do you think this team gets into the playoffs?
Currently, they're the 9th seed. Without looking at their schedule, no, I don't think they do.
I'm about to pull it up because you look at schedules to do this shit properly. All right. All right, you say no?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree with you. They go to the 49ers this week. Then they got the back-to-back weeks, 49ers, Eagles, and then they end the season with at Titans, Steelers, at Cardinals.
If they win one of the, I mean, preferably they would want to beat the 49ers. If they beat the 49ers and lose to the Eagles and win out, I mean, maybe, but I don't see any of that happening. They're not, I mean, they're not at full strength. Like, Kenneth Walker's a big part of that offense. If he's not, like, they need everyone. They have to win a particular way, and if they can't win that way, they lose.
Yeah, I think I'm with you with the Seahawks. I don't think they're going to win those next 2 games, and they don't win those next 2 games. They're pretty much done.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm with you there. What about the Rams? The Rams, they are at Baltimore this week. Washington Saints at the Giants at the 49ers.
I need to actually look at a different team's schedule before I say.
What, the Niners?
Nope. I need to look at the Vikings schedule.
Oh, the Vikings.
Because the Vikings have Raiders, Bengals, Detroit. I think the Rams are actually going. I think they're contenders for the playoffs because in the NFC North, they're not going to get 3 teams. They're going to get the Lions, and they're going to get one of the Vikings or Packers. One of them is going to drop out, and I think the Rams sneak that 7th spot. Because I had to check if the Vikings and Packers still play each other, and they still have to play each other. The Vikings still have to play Detroit as well. They look at this crazy schedule. The Vikings play Detroit, Green Bay, Detroit in a row. What the hell?
Detroit, Green Bay, Detroit.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's their season. That's all NFC North teams, especially that Green Bay game. And then a team who we might bring up, they got the Bengals before they play Detroit.
Yeah, and the Bengals are kind of back in it now too a little bit. They're still.
They got Raiders, Bengals. So after the Raiders, who aren't playing for really anything, the rest of the teams they're playing for all have to try. Bengals, Green Bay for playoff spots, Detroit for potential #1 seed. They're not. So I think they'll drop and the Rams will take their spot. And the Rams offense is starting to click with Kyron Williams back.
Yeah.
Puka just had a great game. They still have Cooper Cup, who gets open no matter if anyone's on him. So yeah, I think they'll get in.
Okay, I think I'm with you with the Rams. Yeah, like you said, with Kyron Williams back, Puka has an AC joint sprain, fucked
Mm,
his shoulder up, but he plans on playing this week. And yeah, the Rams have looked good. So that makes this shit easy between the Vikings and the Packers. Who you got then?
Packers.
Yeah, Jordan Love keeps if he
Yeah, it's
keeps this
another
up,
crazy game again, man. Then conversation is going to start needing to be had.
yeah, if he keeps this shit up, then fucking watch out. But I totally agree with you. I like I said, I don't know how the fuck Minnesota is winning games. Like that shit is not about to keep happening. I'm telling you right now. Like Josh Dobbs, like no, that's just gonna stop. And yeah, I'm with you. So I think yeah, the wild card is gonna be second place in the NFC East. Packers, Rams.
Yeah.
Those are your three.
Yep.
All right.
And of course, this is any given Sunday league. Something can magically happen next week. We're like, oh, Seattle beats San Francisco. Then we have to call us a pause.
Oh, AFC is the one though. AFC is fucking. AFC is a goddamn shit show. So I think the only teams that we can for surely say are going to win their divisions are the Dolphins and the Ravens. I think those are the only spots that we can like truly lock up.
Currently, yeah, both 9-3 right now. Yep.
We can lock up the. I think it's safe to say the Chiefs are going to get into. I don't think Denver. I don't think Denver's going to make it that 2 games lead that the Chiefs have. I don't think Denver's going to make it. They're fine for a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're not going to start with the Chargers because the Chargers are done. I ain't going to do that. We will start with the Bengals.
Man,
Bengals are 6-6. They got a big win against the
no one saw that coming.
Yeah, they got a big win against the Jaguars last night. Trevor Lawrence is injured. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but he got carried off the field. So yeah, you start with the Bengals. And
Currently, they're the 11th seed.
and this week they have a current playoff team, the Colts. So that's a big game.
Which I don't know how the Colts are still.
The Colts, Vikings at Pittsburgh, at KC, Browns to end the year.
So the Bengals are literally have the worst situation that they are playing everyone who actually needs to try.
Yeah, but they need to try too.
They need to try too, but it's not like every team they're playing has to try. Like they're not going to go against a team that's like, oh, we're resting our starter for the playoffs. Man, unfortunately, I just think right now they're not going to get in at the 11th spot. It does help that they would already have the tiebreaker if records are equal over the Bills because they beat the Bills.
And they are playing. They're playing 3 teams of these last 5 games that are currently ahead of them right now.
That does help a lot.
The Colts, Steelers, and Browns are all ahead of them. So head-to-head wins. If they win those games, which can't guarantee, but
yeah, if they win those games, they'd be in. But yeah. I just think right now, I don't see them getting in. I mean, the backup quarter, he had a great game. His game this Monday was fantastic. Watched the whole game, but is that going to be consistent? Like, is he going to throw for that many yards and consistently? I just don't think.
I think he might be able to do that against the Colts this weekend. I do because their defense is not good. Yeah. Everyone's been going off against the Colts.
I just don't think that happens because then you also have the teams like because the Bengals have already lost to the Texans, so yes, and the Texans are ahead of them. So I think if they do anything, the Texans would take the spot up there. So I just don't see it right now.
Texans are in this. We saving them. We saving them for my last question on that.
Okay.
All right, so we got the Bengals out. What about your favorite team?
Oh my God,
the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my God. Nah.
You think it's making the playoffs or not?
They fucking need to, or they're going to clean house.
And we both said that the Bills are going to beat Kansas City this week.
So they'll beat Kansas City, so that'll put them at 7-6.
But then then their schedule after that: Cowboys at home, at the Chargers, Patriots at home, at Miami.
So they'll beat the Chargers and Patriots. That'd be 3 wins. So if they win those three, lose to Dallas, that puts them at 9-7. And then the
They'd be
Miami.
10-7, right? We assuming that they beat the Chiefs.
So they're currently what are they, 6-6?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so beat the
if you
Chiefs,
have
that's
them,
7.
you have them losing to Dallas. That's 10-7.
Yeah, 10-7. And then the Miami game, last time I saw them play Miami, they beat the shit out of them, but I don't see that happening again. So 10-8 is gonna get you in the playoffs.
9-8.
Yep, that's gonna get you in. It's gonna get you in because the Browns are gonna falter.
And they could be resting players. Like Miami could be resting. They could have
Yeah.
the division tied up.
The only reason I see Miami going all well for a bit if they want Tyreek to get that record.
Oh yeah, and then they're the number one seed as of today.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the
They'll
number
get
one
in if they
seed.
win those games like I now if they lose to the Chiefs, it's all done. But
Yes.
if they beat the Chiefs, I think and honestly, since I think the Cowboys are gonna beat the Eagles, I could see the Bills beating the Cowboys just because the Cowboys are on that high of beating the Eagles. It's a cowboyish thing to do.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. We
So
got
I
we
don't
got
want
go to Buffalo. We going to Buffalo. That team
in
ain't ready for the
December.
cold.
In
They ain't
December.
ready for the cold.
Oh,
We,
that's the Christmas. No, Sunday the 17th. Yeah, I logically I could see Buffalo in the playoffs. I don't want them in there just because I'm sick of them, but they would be in if my predictions happen.
okay. All right. We're going to skip the Texans for now. I think the Browns are done. I think
Yes,
you agree with me.
that's why a spot will be open.
Um, I don't believe. All right, who between the Steelers and the Colts, who do you think might get in?
I don't even know how the Colts are in the situation in the first place. Like, what the hell? 7-5. I
Colts are at the Bengals. They have the Steelers the week after that at the Falcons, Raiders, and it with the Texans.
logically I would say the
Whew.
Steelers because they have Mike Tomlin, and that's the only reason.
Let me look at the Steelers schedule real quick.
But they also won't have Kenny Pickett. So
I think the Colts are going to get that spot. Let's see. The Steelers got the Patriots on Thursday. That is a dub. I don't care who the fuck playing quarterback for the Steelers against the Patriots this year. That's a dub. And bet that. And the last time I checked, I think that under was 33 or like. No, it wasn't even. I think it was some Iowa shit. It was some Iowa shit. But the Steelers have after that Patriots game at the Colts, Bengals, ooh, at Seattle, at Baltimore to end the season. I think the Colts are going to get over them.
and I don't disagree. It's just they don't have Mike Tomlin. Like I'm just Mike Tomlin finds a way this time of year, man.
He do. And then for the main event, do the Texans win the damn division?
Oh, win the division.
Do they win the division? They're only a game back, and Trevor Lawrence just got hurt.
Oh, jeez. I was expecting just to say
No,
playoffs. That'd be easy.
no, they
Yeah.
can win the division.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What is the Texans schedule?
I'm about to pull it up now. Yeah, they beat the Jaguars in week 1. They split,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of their schedule. They're at the Jets this week, at Tennessee, hosting Cleveland, Tennessee again, and then at Indy. And then Jacksonville. We don't know the status of Trevor Lawrence at the moment. And then Jacksonville, we have they're at Cleveland this week, Baltimore the week after, Sunday Night Football, at Tampa, the hosting Carolina, and then at Tennessee.
And Trevor Lawrence gets hurt on a Monday, needs to play Sunday. I they could. They could.
And I personally don't think if CJ Beathard's playing against Cleveland at home, I don't think they're going to win that game. Cleveland's defense, that's when they actually show up.
They could. The Texans could win that division. Ah man, what will one game? And they still play each other?
No, they split. They split the season
Oh,
series.
so that's already done.
They
Wow.
split. Jaguars are up a game. Up a game with 5 left.
And if they lose to the Browns because Trevor doesn't play, then I think the Texans are going to win the division. If they
I,
lose to the Browns, Jacksonville loses to the Browns.
I I'm with you because now this is if Trevor does not play this weekend because I think the Browns win that game, and Texans. If the Texans can go into New York and get a win against the Jets and tie this shit up, and then they have to end, and then they have to end at Tennessee. They get Cleveland at home, and then Tennessee again, and then at Indy. I kind of like him. I kind of like that young team and CJ to win the division the first in
Which
a
would be
rookie season,
which would be crazy.
which would be
Because
insane.
even I said, like, with Trevor, Jacksonville, like, and the AFC South being the weakest division at time of the season, it's like this is going to be his division a run for a decade plus. Now, I don't know.
I ain't gonna say CJ better than him right now, but he trending. He trending to be.
And then the thing is, this division ain't so weak no more because I know we're talking about Jags and Texas, but we just talked about the Colts getting in, and they're in the AFC South, and they don't even have their real starting quarterback.
Oh no, the weakest division in football is without a doubt the NFC South, and it's
Yeah, now it's
quite
the
frankly
NFC
not
South.
even up. It's not even up for debate at this point.
But at the start of the season, everyone said the AFC South because we're like,
Yeah,
who's? And
and
now there's 3 of their teams are contending.
yeah, the Colts. Colts are a real surprise with their backup quarterback Shane
Mm-hmm.
Steichen.
Mm-hmm. No Anthony Richard,
Eagles miss him, man. The Eagles miss that man.
All right. So winners and losers. Justin, who's your winner for the week?
Oh God, who is my winner? I think I'm just gonna go with the easy low hanging fruit here. I'm gonna go with the 49ers after that performance. What they've done to the other top 2 teams in the NFC. I think it's the Niners. They're hot right now.
My person who I'm going to pick, I know we said his team was weak, but I think this just needs to be talked about. Mike Evans.
Okay.
Mike Evans hit 1,000 yards receiving again. He's hit 1,000 yards every year. Do you know the only other receiver to have more 1,000 yard seasons than Mike Evans?
Probably Jerry Rice.
Yep.
Wow.
Because he's had it. Mike Evans has had an 1,000 yard season since he was a rookie, and he is really good. He doesn't get the publicity he deserves, and he's not getting like the greatest quarterbacks throwing. I mean, obviously he had
no. I mean, dude had Marcus Freeman. I mean,
Yep.
fucking Jameis Winston when he threw 30 picks. Like
30 for 30. Yep.
no, most
And he's getting
most of those
1,000
yards
yards.
were not Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. And he's getting 1,000 yards every year. So, and he got it again, and his team won. So, Mike Evans for my winner. He's one of those players where you're just like, imagine if he was somewhere else, or imagine if he was like, I want out. He'd be that's someone who the Chiefs would give everything for.
Oh yeah, and he's an Aggie. He's one of your Aggies.
And then he is. I mean, Kevin Sullivan's golden era.
Oh man, and then losers. I either got picked between the New Orleans Saints, even though the Saints did fight towards the end of that game, but 21-0 in the first quarter, that's patently absurd. Or the fucking Chargers. I know they fucking won, but 6-0. I had the under. In that game, so I wasn't particularly mad, but come on. 6-0 against the Patriots. I know their defense is good. I know that game was miserable. It was cold. It was raining. But still, 6-0. It's Chargers. I'm so sick of that fucking team. They could be losers every week. They about to be a loser for winning a game. Winning a game 6-0 in 2023. What the fuck are we doing? Or actually, I ain't want to pile on the Patriots. The Patriots have held teams to less than 10 points for the past 3 weeks and lost every single game, which is unheard of. But it's the Chargers for only scoring 6 points.
Oh, jeez, that's a good one. 6-0. I mean, I can't believe I'm gonna use them for losers, but we opened there was second open in the show. I'm gonna go the Kansas City Chiefs. Like that's a game we're accustomed to the Chiefs winning. And I these past couple weeks especially, and I've been saying it, especially the Thanksgiving. Patrick Mahomes ain't gonna have a home playoff game for the first time in his career. And it's gonna look real different. Like
You're
they're
right.
and because they're the 3 seed. I mean, you mess around because I think my prediction, I think the Texans would get up to the 6th seed. And if they do get up, you got Chiefs Texans first round.
First of all, I just told you, Texas going to fuck around and get the 4th seed. They win that division. And
Oh yeah,
Trevor
that's right.
Lawrence is
So that would
really
put
hurt.
Jacksonville at 6. And if Jacksonville's fully held, I mean, again, there's no one in the only people in the AFC right now. If they were played the Chiefs in the playoffs, who I would definitively say the Chiefs would beat are the current like Steelers, Browns, Colts. Anyone else, I couldn't say they definitively beat.
Yeah. I mean, the past 2 weeks have been rough for Kansas City. I think it's going to get rougher against the Bills this weekend too.
You don't think you're talking about because we already have the Chiefs losing. You talk about 3rd seed. Could Houston get to the 3 seed
Oh
and the
wow!
Chiefs get to 4? Because if I already have Kansas City losing, that's 8-5.
The Texans already have 5 losses, right?
Texans, no, yeah, they're 7-5.
Just checking the rest of the Chiefs schedule. All right, I got them losing to Buffalo this week, so that's eight and
Same.
five. They gonna beat the dog shit out the Patriots. They gonna beat the Raiders.
Okay.
And
So that's 10-5.
they gonna beat the Bengals. I feel like
They should.
uh,
So that'd be
it's
11-5. And then if you
a
go to the
home game,
Texans,
and then at the Chargers.
okay.
I,
Chart.
I don't think the Texans get the 3rd seed. I don't think that NFC South team gets the 3rd seed because after the Buffalo loss, I can totally see Kansas City not losing again.
Yeah, I agree. It's just if they slip the way, I mean, no one expected them to lose to Green Bay the way they slip up again, man. Like if Herbert has a real good game against them, like it's a potential. And then the sky is really falling for them.
Oh, they can definitely lose that Charger game. Chargers play them tough.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. You get CJ Stroud to a 3rd seed in the AFC. I don't want to keep hearing about this Brock Purdy bullshit about being MVP.
Whoa! If the Cowboys win the division, I think you got to give Dak the MVP.
Well, I mean,
I think Dak is in that conversation now.
Currently he's second odds behind, tied with Jalen behind Brock Purdy, which whatever. I mean, I personally, if he gets the record, I think it should be Tyreek Hill, but we don't give it to non-quarterbacks. So
if there's a year,
I'm just saying, man, like Tyreek's going and with the Purdy thing too, it's because he's the quarterback. I could make a case that CMC should be a higher MVP candidate, especially from what he was doing at the beginning of the year.
I don't think Brock Purdy is the MVP of his own team.
I know, and if they win out, he's gonna win the damn thing.
I don't know if Tyreek Hill gets that record. I think we're going to see a wide receiver win the MVP,
and I think it should, and that'd be great. But I'm just saying, CJ gets to that 3rd seed, he's in the mix as a rookie. But they did also suffer a debilitating injury with Tank.
Oh, my nigga Tank now.
That's not going to help. but they're in there, man. Justin, anything else?
Nah, man, we have been running our mouths for the past 2 hours about football, college, and NFL. I'm good. I've said everything I need to say,
All
and the
right.
Knicks just fucked me royally. So yeah, I'm ready to get off and watch the Lakers.
Oh, with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. You guys take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.